to another review with me, Kevin, from Kevin Grant on Whisky. This week is a good week. So I caught wind that the first release of the new Ardnamurchan, or the first release was coming out, and thought I'll get my hands on it, checked an email, said they were in stock, had to go back to work, checked again, sold out, and I thought, oh, I can't believe I've missed this. A couple of days go by, another re-release came out from a website that I signed up to, and I was able to get my hands on one. So a lot of people say, keep it, it's going to be worth money and time. For me, I like to open my whiskey, drink my whiskey, and share my whiskey, so this is getting open today. Even though I think in 20 years' time I'll look back and say I shouldn't have done that, but it's absolutely fine. So I was able to get my hands on this. I love what Ardnamurchan done, the Adelphi stuff, the independent side, and then getting this is, I've always wanted the single malt to come out, so I'm really excited to try this. It's really light in colour, everything that they've done is good as well, 46.8% ABV, unshell filtered, natural colour. So it's not an age statement. What I'm led to believe, it's about 6 years old though, about 6 years old, and it's a split of 50% unpeated malt and 50% peated malt. Again, and it's a mixture of ex-bourbon and ex-sherry. It looks primarily bourbon to me, with the colour and lightness of it. It's quite plain in the labelling of it as well. I think I prefer, personally, the Adelphi bottles, what they look like on my eye, but this is great. Straight to it, it's quite neat, quite tidy. It's 100% like sustainable as well. They're using everything locally. You can trace it right from day one to the day it's bottled, which I think is really good as well, having that terroir to it. So enough talking, let's get this open and get this in the glass. So we're opening up the new Ardnamurchan AD 920-01, the first release of it. So let's see what we can get. Got no idea what it's going to taste like. I've got no indication. I'm just going to have to go with my nose and go with my palate on this one. So let's see if we can get a good pop on it. First impressions is definitely a little bit of peat in there. The ppm content, I've got no idea what that is. It's good, it's quite fresh, a lot of vanilla going on. Let's get it in the glass. My wee Glencairn. So, Ardnamurchan, Argyll, Western Highlands. I think it's like the most westerly distillery in Scotland now. Don't quote me on that. So, on the nose, it's quite waxy, it's quite oily, very, very clean, fresh grass, freshly cut grass. A lot of citrus in there as well. I'd maybe say slight maritime notes to it, like very slightly coastal. But yeah, quite a wee bit of rubber. Clean, cut grass, fresh, vanilla, rubber and sea. A lot going on for the very first impressions for the neck pour. It's good having it, the natural colour, unshell filtered, I absolutely love that. Let's try it on the palate then, so slange everyone. Really coats the mouth. It's really, it's got a lot more punch than I anticipated there. I thought it was going to disappear, still there. Super oily, super waxy, just really, it's clinging on, it's chewy, it's got character. There's a bit of spice at the end, it's quite cardamom, cinnamon, nothing major on it. Real bourbon influence, the peat is starting to come through as well. It doesn't taste young, it doesn't taste spirity, it doesn't have that youngness to it, it doesn't have the, you know, sometimes when you try young whiskey, which you can taste there's a bit of, it's just not ready. This is good. 6 years old, if it is 6 years old, what's it going to be like in 4 years if they put an age statement on that when they're able to find the right recipe? Going right down the middle with a 50-50 split I think is really good. I will like to try it when it's 100% peated and 100% unmalted, but for just now this is really good. Very happy, very good first impression of this. Ardnamurchan, great job. There is a lot going on in the nose. Not much has changed on it. Would it add water to this? No. I think it's doing everything for me. This is kind of what I like a whiskey to be like. It's really lasts long in the palate. There's a wee bit of excitement when you smell it. It doesn't burn the nostrils either. It's light, but that is full of flavour. It's packing an absolute punch there. There is definite more bourbon. I think the split has got to be primarily bourbon cask compared to the sherry. I would say personally, I could be completely wrong. Excuse me. I'm going back in. I'm excited by this. The grassiness stays there, that freshness, the clean, it's quite, I'd say more of a citrus hit there. The sweetness comes through again, it's quite, a lot of citrus now on the palate. That little bit of spice at the end. So waxy, so oily, like it is unbelievably. I wish I had a super duper camera, you could just look at that glass, like the legs just don't want to leave, they just want to stick there, you know, it's just, that is raw goodness. And I think with whiskey, sometimes just now, for me, a lot of people are inclined by colour. Their eyes are choosing the whiskey for them and not letting the whiskey speak for itself. So sometimes doing tastings in the dark glasses where you can't see the colour is always a good thing, but do not let this put you off. This is beautiful. I'm glad I've opened this, genuinely am. And I'm glad I'm looking forward to sharing it with people, because I think some people won't open it, which is absolutely fine. Everyone has their own agenda looking forward, but I'm too nosy about whiskey and I want to know what it tastes like. So picked this up, it was under £50 for a first release as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. You know, that's really unheard of. They tick every box for me, Ardnamurchan. Now that's you've got me, I'm hooked, I'm in. The next one that comes out, I'm in on that as well. I'm going to be in. I think Ardnamurchan could be, it's got a lot of big things coming for it. Fantastic job. Really, really enjoying this. New distillery coming straight out for me with a bang. That is just they've put themselves on the map for me there. So now all these other new distilleries, from a personal standpoint, have to step up. They have to compete now because it's going to be a big market. Look at all these new distilleries that are coming out. They have to do something big. It has to be bold. The flavours have to be there. The price point has to be there. And they've ticked all the boxes for me. But don't just take my word for it. Other people are going to tell you other things. It's great. This is just my personal view on that. As you can see, I'm a wee bit buzzing about it. I'm really enjoying it. Hopefully I can just zoom in on it. You can see the label and everything on the back of it. There is a wee scan code. I've actually not done it yet, just to show you from day one where it's came from, so I'll have a wee look into that. But I'm going to sit and enjoy this, as always. Something new, something I get to enjoy. There's more, I'm getting more of that kind of coastal hit again now. This is great, exciting, so much going on for something so young and so new. But I'm going to sit back, I'm going to enjoy this. I've got a big day ahead. It's my partner's Canadian, so it's Canadian Thanksgiving, so there's a big day of turkeys getting cooked and things like that as well. So I best go and finish this off and go and help in the kitchen before I don't get fed tonight. But thanks for joining me again. As always, I've been Kevin from Kevin Grant on Whisky. Enjoy me next week and let's talk whiskey.